300 days ago, I started speedrunning Minecraft with the goal of beating the game in under 20 minutes. Hundreds of hours went into this, and it's the biggest video I've ever done. During this incredible journey, I even uninstalled Minecraft and almost quit YouTube. Sounds dumb, I know, so let me give you some context. It's April of 2021. Dream was recently busted. Thousands of new players were joining the community, and there seemed to be a new world record every other day. And then there was me, cocky and naive Dadusak, who saw this speedrun thing and thought, surely it can't be that hard. To be honest, I was growing bored of Minecraft. So I figured I'll give speedrunning a shot and see how long it takes me to get a sub 20. I've been playing the game since 2011 and I've defeated the Ender Dragon many times. I considered myself to be a good player, but little did I know that ahead of me was a 300-day long journey. I wasn't doing this just to make a video out of it. No, it was much deeper than that. I craved a challenge. I wanted to improve at this game. I wanted to see what I was really capable of. I didn't care about a position on leaderboard. This was entirely personal, and my sense of self-worth was on the line. So I opened Minecraft and got started. The first 5 days were rough. I was dying everywhere. I was playing with Optifine and I didn't even use a timer. It was bad, but I was able to get a vague idea of what this is all about. On YouTube, you only see the best attempts, the world records, but behind each good round, there are thousands of resets, mistakes, deaths, and failures. However, what I loved about speedrunning is that you are playing against yourself. It doesn't matter if you're correct at the game or if you're a complete beginner. Every day, you're just trying to be better than you were yesterday. It didn't take long before I got my first completed run. I think it was around 55 minutes, but I didn't even bother uploading it to speedrun.com because I knew I could do much better. Also, it wouldn't get verified since using Optifine is not allowed. I was improving fast, but I knew those were just newbie gains. I was still miles away from my goal. Few days later, I got my first official personal best of 35:35. The gameplay itself was far from perfect, but at least I was playing with a timer. I spawned close to an ocean, crafted a boat, and looted 3 entire shipwrecks. That's why my nether entry time ended up being 9 minutes. Luckily, I spawned close to a bastion, and it didn't take long to find a fortress, so I'd say the seed was decent. This PB wouldn't stand long, however, because a few seeds later, this happened. I spawned in a savannah with 2 villages and a lava pool. I farmed as much bread as humanly possible and entered the nether at 5:30. But in this world, the bastion was far away. I did a scuffed treasure out and left at 13:30. I struggled to find a stronghold, so the final time was 30:34. But I knew this should have been a sub 30. I submit the recording to speedrun.com, but it gets rejected. My heart dropped. Do they think my run is fake? But I simply forgot to include the seed. Whoops. I continued speedrunning, but the rate of improvement slowed down significantly. The newbie gains were gone, and it would take another 10 days before I saw my 4th PB. I entered the nether at 7 minutes, disgusting. But I'm glad I didn't reset, because the fortress was right next to the bastion. Despite the horrible 8-bet 1 cycle, I finished at 25:59. I was happy with this performance. It was my first sub 30, and I felt like I wasn't completely trash anymore. I started playing more than ever. Hours and hours every day. I learned the newest bastion routes. I practiced my 1 cycle, and I even taught myself how to divine travel. However, something was wrong. I was failing to finish runs. I was constantly throwing good seeds, and that left me feeling frustrated. That's the side of speedrunning that nobody wants to talk about. I decided to take a week off to clear my mind. Turns out that was the best decision I could have made. When I returned, I felt like I got better. I realized a lot of basic things. For instance, you don't need an iron pickaxe when you have TNT. Wood, iron, and food can all be obtained in the nether, and my mind was completely blown when I found out that shipwrecks have a back window. Those are the little things that make you a better speedrunner. Everything matters. There will come a run where that knowledge might save you, and for me it was this one. Out of the nether at 16 minutes, I was way ahead of PB pace, and after boarding for a while, I found the stronghold. I entered the end, and all I needed was for the dragon to perch. I waited and waited, but then... Oh my god. I messed up in the worst possible way. It ended up being 25:10, a new PB. However, I knew that it could have been much faster. After this, I lost all motivation to speedrun. I still wanted to get that sub 20, but at the time, I needed to prioritize some personal things. I uninstalled all video games, including Minecraft, and I didn't know if I would ever get back to speedrunning. What followed was an 8-month-long pause. I even questioned whether I will continue with YouTube, as I was earning next to nothing. And the little money I did earn was stripped from me, because my channel kept getting randomly demonetized. But I made my choice. 3 months into the pause, I installed Minecraft again and began making videos. However, still no signs of speedrunning. That all changed in the beginning of 2022. I don't know why, but I felt like I should try again. A lot has changed over the past 8 months. I had some catching up to do. My first few attempts back were sloppy, as expected. But I quickly got into my groove, and just a few days in, I got a brand new PB. The run was solid, with a 3-minute nether entry that spawned me right next to a fortress. However, going fortress first is a huge risk, because you don't have fire resistance. I wasn't confident enough, so I decided against it. I E-rayed for a bastion and went there instead. After I was done trading, I returned to the fortress and exited the nether before the 15-minute mark. At 20:30, I was in the end with only 5 beds. I crossed my fingers and... It is a name. This meant a lot to me. It proved that I was now better than when I left 8 months ago. I promised to myself that this time I will give it my all. Each day before my first speedrun, I did at least an hour of practicing. I played so much that I dreamt of good seeds. I was getting better, but I could never predict how insane the next seed would be. At just 10 minutes and 16 seconds, I was out of the nether, but the craziest part was yet to come. Bro, it's like 300 blocks. The stronghold was less than 200 blocks away, and when I entered, the timer said 12:36, meaning not only was I on sub 20 pace, I was also on sub 15 pace. You can imagine how much I was shaking. Unfortunately, it would all go downhill from here. The stronghold generated in the middle of a ravine, and I hate when this happens, since it's super confusing and hard to navigate. Combine that with the fact that I am 8 whole minutes ahead of my PB, and you have a recipe for a choke. It took forever to find the portal room, and when I finally got to the end, the dragon wouldn't perch. I wanted to feel disappointed, but I just couldn't. All I thought about was how insanely fast that was, and so I decided to give it a name, the fast run. I know, very creative. I was more motivated than ever to go out there and get that sub 20. I immediately started practicing stronghold navigation, as well as dragon perch, and only then I realized how bad I really was. The amount of times I missed the perch or died to the dragon. I needed to learn those lessons, and that's exactly what practice maps are made for. However, what followed were chokes. After the fast run, I got really impatient. I wanted a new PB so bad that the randomness of speedrunning was killing me. I had to stop myself and refocus on the things I can control. Instead of wanting good seeds, I began wanting to improve, to learn new things. And man, did I learn a lot of things. If you hold shift while swimming down, you will sink way faster. You don't need doors to breathe underwater. You can just use a pressure plate. I also sucked at ruined portals. In one world, it took me 90 seconds to build a portal where it should have taken 10. Speedrunning requires a learning mindset. No matter what your PB is, you will benefit from knowing more. Nevertheless, I still haven't accomplished my ultimate goal. Every day I was choking several rounds that were on sub 20 pace, but in this turmoil of emotions, I realized one thing. You can't choke every run. Oh my god. 1856. Let's go. Oh my god, my heart is pumping.